Help your dragon deal with change. Steve Herman. Hello, my name is Drew. I'd like to introduce you, my dearest friend in all the world, my dragon, Diggory-Doo. I know it's kind of strange and not a common sight to see, but once a dragon's trained, he's as gentle as can be. A dragon in the house requires a few adjustments, though. For instance, if he sneezes, he might accidentally blow a blazing ball of red-hot flame right out of his dragon snout, and if he sets the couch on fire, you'll have to put it out. Again. Diggory also eats a lot. He has a mighty appetite, so you don't want a dragon if your budget's kind of tight. We've had to make some changes for our dragon, it is true. But guess who hates to have to change? Diggory does. That's who. That was too much. Diggory-Doo was sad. I asked him, why the gloomy face? My teacher moved away, he said. A new one took her place. She moved out our chairs and tables. She changed the place I sit. I don't think I like her, not one tiny little bit. I don't like her lessons, and I do not like her style. I think she's kind of strict, like an angry crocodile. She gave us brand new rules. They're posted on the wall. School's no longer fun, and I don't want to go at all. To Diggory-Doo's dismay, another change was on the way. Since he was growing older, it was time for him to play on a soccer team for bigger kids. Poor Diggory-Doo. He had to leave the team he loved, and that made him feel blue. When it came to playing soccer, Diggory-Doo was swell, but Diggory soon discovered that he didn't play as well as the other players on his new team, and that made him feel bad. I want my old team back, he cried. The change had made him sad. Diggory-Doo went swimming at the pool right down the street, with a snorkel on his face and some flippers on his feet. But then there came a change that flipped his smile into a frown. Diggory's heart was broken, for the pool was closing down. Don't worry, Diggory-Doo, I said. The news that I've been told is a bigger pool is being built, better than the old. Where's Drew? So cold. What if it's too big or cold? Diggory-Doo began to whine. I don't want a new one. The old one suits me fine. Another time that Diggory had his world turned upside down was when our family moved to the other side of town. Our old house was very nice, but just a bit too small, yet Diggory could not understand the need to change at all. I don't believe our house was really all that bad. Why do we have to move, he asked. I miss the house we had. I miss the room we shared. I miss the tire swing in the yard. When we changed the place we lived, Diggory found it hard. I want to stay the same, he said. Why must we always change? I like things the way they are, for new things feel too strange. I could see that Diggory-Doo must change his point of view, to help him let go of the old and to accept the new. I said, although you miss your teacher, Diggory, you may find, if you give your new teacher half a chance, she's also kind. No two teachers are the same, but all will help you learn. It's time to give up wishing that the old one will return. And yes, you miss the soccer team you had to leave behind, but here's another lesson you should try to bear in mind. When you play with teammates who play better than you do, you'll learn a lot, and soon you'll see you're playing better too. I think you'll like the bigger pool, for bigger means more fun. A bigger pool will hold more friends, so jump in, everyone. You'll have more room to swim around and get much better at it. Just wait, you'll see the brand new pool is better than you had it. You think our other house was nice, but this one's also good. You've made new friends by moving to a different neighborhood. You now have your own room, and we have a bigger yard. See, a change can make things better, even when it's hard. Now I think I understand, Diggery-Doo declared. Life is full of changes, so it's best to be prepared. When it's time for something new, just let the old thing go. Put a smile upon your face. Don't wallow in your woe. It's like a new adventure when change must come your way. Try to make the best of it, and you'll be A-okay. That's exactly right, I said. I think you finally got it. Now, you see that change is not as bad as you once thought it. Now, when Diggory faces a change, he doesn't lose his mind. He looks upon the bright side just to see what he will find. When you have to face a change, just be like Diggory-Doo, who learned that change is letting go and trying something new. Wow, what a great book. So let's talk for a minute about how this book can help us to manage our emotions. So we're going to go through a few questions, but just know that you can pause the video so that you can talk about the video with other people either around you or write down some of your answers if you are alone. All right, let's get started. Question 1. What does Diggory-Doo learn about change? And hint, the answer is on the last page of the book. So why don't you pause and go take a look at the last page of the book if you don't remember. Question 2. Does Diggory-Doo handle his emotion in a healthy way? Does he handle emotions differently in different parts of the book? Question 3. Are there any changes that Diggory-Doo went through that is like what you are experiencing now? Question 4. What can we learn from Diggory-Doo about how we should view change? How can we exercise self-control and be mindful when changes happen that make us feel sad or anxious or even angry? I encourage you to look at the example that Diggory-Doo set and how his emotions changed throughout the book, and take a look at the end of the book and how his views changed to help you figure out how we can also do that. All right, learners. So now we are going to make the connections between the book and our lives. So we kind of already did that with the questions that I asked you, but it's very important when we read to not just read to finish reading, but it's important to make connections with that happen within the book. So if a character does something, we want to look at why they did something. We want to look at how their actions affected other people and how their actions and choices that they made affected themselves as well. Making connections is not only important for reading things within the text and understanding things within the text of the book, but it's also important for us to read and make connections to our own lives. Many authors and storytellers create their stories to be able to teach us something about life and how to live. So now that we understand this, I want to show you some connections that I made between the book and my life. So when it was announced that school for me would be moving to an online platform, I was very nervous because I do not like to do online items that much, and I was nervous that I would be able to complete them and do them to the best of my ability. So when school changed, I was worried about how I was going to get my assignments done. So this was a big change for me. So now I had to find a space in my house to make my own so that I could get work done. And hopefully not my bed, because then I would fall asleep. So I had to make sure I found somewhere that I could do work. And this was very different for me too. I was used to homework, but not used to doing all my schoolwork at home. I felt like Diggory-Doo when he said, "Why do things have to change? Why can't they stay the same?" And that's how I felt about my schooling. But I've come to notice a few things. One of the big things is I realized that not everything I used to be able to do I can do now. But that's not a bad thing, because I'm creating a new routine, but I like it. So now I don't always have to get dressed every morning and wear nice clothes and go to work, but for me, I get to stay in my sweatshirt or my sweatpants, and hey, that's something I like a lot. Also, I have started to exercise more. Something I didn't do in the morning because I didn't have time was work out. And now I am working out or going for walks way more than I used to. So I'm getting healthier, and I'm eating healthier too because I'm eating at home. I'm not going out to restaurants or fast food anymore. So I'm getting healthier staying here at home. And these are habits that I can keep when this quarantine is over. After COVID-19 quarantine is over, I still can keep these healthy habits. And that is something I found really positive about this. Just like how Diggory-Doo was not happy at first, that was me. But after thinking about it and starting to live this out, I am now seeing that change is not that bad, and trying something new can be healthy. In question 5, we were discovering different ways for us to be in self-control and think about those things. So, and be mindful. That's a word that you've probably heard a few times, or maybe you even practice it. But mindfulness is a really powerful tool for being able to deal with difficult emotions. And in this time, there have been difficult emotions, I know, for me and many other people during COVID-19, and learning how to kind of redo life. Practicing mindfulness enables you to learn how to calm down and be able to soothe yourself. So this is a place where you are able to reflect and thoughtfully respond rather than reacting to something. Mindfulness really helps us to see our emotions for what they are. And we can do this by kind of asking ourselves, what is the weather like inside of me today? If I'm sunny, I'm good. If it's raining, I'm sad. Or if I'm in a storm with lightning, it's because I'm angry. And so one way I do that is taking times throughout the day, especially if I start to feel in one of those types of ways, like angry or anxious. I take a few deep breaths and I close my eyes and I think about my emotions and where I'm at, and not just react to them. And so that is mindfulness, making sure that before we react to something, we respond and we are thinking about it and we're reflecting. And that is mindfulness. So as we end today, I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed the wonderful book by Steve Herman, and being mindful. That is something big I hope you take away from this, that we can reflect and not react to the big changes that are happening in our lives. So, until next time, learners, have a great rest of your day.